Hello, welcome to a presentation on the exploration of social problems, refugee children integrating into English-speaking classrooms. My name is April Maple. I am a graduate student with the University of Kentucky. We're going to be talking about the population of refugee children. As of 2019, we've had approximately 22,000 refugee children come into the United States. These children are between the ages of newborn to about 17. They are coming in from places like Iraq, Bhutan, Somalia, Syria, and it's estimated that 3.5 million Afghans are currently displaced, internally displaced. In 2021, when the Taliban took over Kabul, we saw an increase of the 3.5 million Afghans that were displaced. What is the need? The need is for education to be brought to refugee children in an equitable manner. Typically, a child in this country enrolls in school, begins learning with their peers. For a refugee child, they come in not knowing the cultural norms, they're nervous, they're scared, they don't know what's happening. Refugee children often do not have enough time to practice their learning English face-to-face. They end up getting teased for not using enunciation as a native English speaker would. They typically do not have anyone at home to practice their English with. Some children have had limited exposure to school and have never been to school, making the learning environment a challenge for the student and the teacher. The data shows that between March of 2019 and 2020, only 68% of refugee children have been enrolled in school. We as a community need to offer these supports from the city, the state, and the government. Across the U.S., you can see on the map here, United States took in, by June of 2022, 1,300 refugees, and in Ohio as low as 500. There are a lot of children throughout the U.S. that are refugee children coming in not knowing English and need our supports. The rationale for this need is that we need to provide these children safety. We need to keep them away from things like child marriage and child labor, sexual exploitation. They have the right to have an education. They can build community resilience by learning, being empowered through skills and enlightenment for their life around them. Past interventions that have been used have been through ECD, which is Early Childhood Development Programs. These are crucial development programs. This is a time when children are learning the most, absorbing the most, and many refugee children have not had the experience to experience ECD. ECD provides a platform of nurture, emotional support, and skill building that prepares a child for their future. Some children have never even been to school, so they may not have had these experiences, along with early childhood education, which I'd like to share a short video of a teacher that is providing literacy through the Rice Owl Institute program to teach children through storytelling.
Students are eager to go along.
Past interventions. A problem that many American teachers are encountering when working with children is that they don't have the proper training. They need to better their skills in cultural competency and humility while working with these children that are often coming from PTSD, emotionally unstable background. And in America, we say that we don't want to leave any child behind. However, we still have many children that are facing barriers that take away all of their equal opportunity to education. A country that provides free education for all, only half globally our school-age children have had access to it, according to a report by the National Education Association in 2017. Teachers are facing the challenges of not having one-on-one time with their students. The students are unable to follow along with the class. They don't understand what is happening, making it a challenge for the teacher to keep up with the benchmarks. An intervention strategy that may bring more success to classrooms if implemented across the country is the language experience approach. This is not a new approach. What LEA asks the student to describe a common experience. This would be written down on a board. The students would then reflect upon this. Teacher would use these experiences to write short sentences. The students then learn to write that sentence of their experience, and they can repeat it over and over. They have a connection to the sentence because it's drawn off of a known lived experience. The LEA approach is based off of a behaviorist theory, which is the idea that behaviors are learned through interaction with the environment. And this, of course, with children, they learn off of each other. So this LEA approach may be a good alternative for the target audience of refugee children so that we can give them equitable learning environments and their families. In addition to offering LEA in classrooms, we would want to offer parent involvement and enrichment. We would have parents come in, have a space provided through a grant like the RSI, Refugee School Impact Grant, which would teach the students and the children how to learn through this LEA model. Additional stakeholders would be the peers. They would help to uplift through storytelling, through sharing their lived experiences together. The measurement for the success of having an LEA in a classroom would be through student surveys, milestone markers depending on the grade level, state testing, and the reclassification in ESL classes from primary language at home to the secondary language of English. Timeline for completion would be, need to be part of an advanced service planning that teachers prepare for the school year. A review of the backgrounds from where your refugee students are coming in from and what backgrounds they may have already had in education is what that's available. Challenges that the school may encounter when using the LEA is if a student is unable to express a word or an idea of a common experience they may have had in their own culture. Other challenges may be around the use of mental health services, as some families and children might feel an embarrassment to need services based around the traumas they've experienced. And children may be afraid to share their experiences in fear of retaliation by an abuser or a larger system of power that may have once governed over them. So your support is needed because children look up to us to give them an environment that is safe, supportive, and that they can thrive in. We, as a country, can provide so much more than we already have. We can do this locally in our little communities. We can take it to the state level, federal level, to demand that all children are provided a reasonable and equitable education, and that support services can be put into classrooms to not just put a child in a classroom where they're speaking English, but to actually provide them support so they understand what is happening. Thank you.